All right, guys, I'm ready to put on the BennVenn screen for these VA4. And then I cleaned up the opposite side, removed the lighting. I was able to clean up all the contacts here with some flux, and it looks pretty clean. So just ready to do this this screen swap. There's the old screen, and there's the new screen. All right, here's a close-up. Basically cleaned up all the contacts here with some flux, heated them up, and scrubbed it with a nice toothbrush and some alcohol to clean up all the flux. And this is just standard electronics soldering and desoldering stuff. Pretty excited to see the screen work. Let's go. So I ended up doing, for removing the screen, the old screen, was going in with an X-Acto knife and just really just giving me more room to play, is I just went around and just basically sliced all the LEDs, rather the LCDs contacts, because I'm going to need some of these contact ports right here in the future for the wiring, and it's a lot easier just to kind of slice them all off. I left a lot of this junk on there, but I'll clean that up. And pretty much the same idea for the right hand side, and this guy just popped right off, as you can see. Yeah, so it's just that top part right here, this part, these two, and then the bottom. Not terribly hard to do. I desoldered the points for this guy, that's your backlit light, and that came right off. I went ahead and removed the 4 screws that go right here for this LCD removal. Unlike the Macho Nacho's tutorial, this is the version VA4. You can check that by looking at your board right here, and the VA4 stamp, silk screen stamp, is right there, right above that capacitor, right there, VA4. So just gonna try to figure this out, really trying to remove it. So I'm gonna desolder a lot of these, like, I'm not gonna use that anymore. Desolder that, and then I've already took this off, so this should be pretty loose, and should come right off. Let's see. Won't need that anymore. That looks like a reflector for the backlit light that they were using back in the days, and gonna remove this guy here and replace it with the new technology.
So right here you can see that I ended up wiring everything according to the photo that I received for VA4, and the photo actually breaks it down pretty good. You can see here that the best thing, my recommendation, is actually looking at the screen and retrofitting it first before laying out your wires. And that's where kind of the wire cleanup will go.
Something I had to do was actually use a drill bit here. Unfortunately, the 3D print that I got didn't really have defined holes, so I had to, as soon as I lined it up, I created those defined holes. So I hope this helps anybody out. If I was to advise anybody in the order, is you want to make sure you remove your components that you need to remove, like the inductor right here first, and then make sure this fits in place first, and then do your wiring, because as you can see, I'm gonna have a bunch of long wires unless I have it in place where I can just measure to that location. That way I'm not having extra wire. So I haven't put the top left there, the screw, as you can see, because it's a little weird, it's a little finicky. I did use blue tape to kind of hold it in place for now, but I think as soon as I screw down that top left one, it should be in place. So trying to get this thing to be aligned is a mission in itself. I'm already kind of seeing that the bottom right is not aligned. It's a little bit upsetting, you know, considering that, but you know, I think that the key thing here is there isn't many companies out there making these aftermarket, so I am grateful for BennVenn to provide the information for what's available. I think the Discord is kind of the best place for clues, especially my version VA4, which my understanding in Australia they don't get VA4, so it's going to be difficult for them to do videos and unless somebody sends them a VA4. But anyway, I got to do some adjustments here, drill a new hole for that top left one, and we should be good to go. That top left one's a little finicky there, like I mentioned, so you have to kind of probably push it with your finger and then screw it in.
Yeah, so definitely using the small size, just slightly smaller than the screw drill bit helped a lot to get these to be able to be screwed in. Wasn't able to really screw in the top left one because of the looseness of the piece.
Let's go. I finished this project. I gotta say it wasn't terribly difficult. I think the key thing that you have to keep in mind is that when you buy the screen from BennVenn, this is for my VA4. The VA4 has a number called 837-9537-01. I left out the 01 when I was looking at the picture schematic. So make sure you pay attention to that 01. These three wires for your brightness. As you can see, I run them through. Right below this video cable, I have a 10K ohm resistor that goes to, you'll see it there. It's 3.3 volts, right about there. That's where your 10K ohm resistor will go, and that's for your brightness screen. So that red one goes to the middle one down there. So you got four on the jog wheel. You got four that will resist. This is all resistance right here. So it's going to be the second one from the bottom. Your yellow one goes over to the pad on your BennVenn board that shows that says brightness there, and then the C26, which actually crosses over to your start button. That C26 goes over to your star one. All the instructions are on Discord, but if you're not on Discord, I didn't see any videos on YouTube. I thought I'd just shoot this really quick for those that ever come across this board. Apparently the board again isn't from Australia, so the BennVenn is in Australia, so the board pictures did help me a lot. You'll find those again in the Discord. But let's see if I have any other concerns that I came across. There's just a lot. There's a lot of work to be done at the pads, a lot, and so you have to be very careful not to screw it up. Right, so you want to make sure you run your right wires. If you guys have any questions, feel free to take a snapshot or picture of this one here. I'm trying to get that to focus better. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to just shoot me a message. I'll be happy to kind of walk you through, because there's times where I was just confused, and all they say is go look at the pictures. So that's where I messed up, is my board revision. Make sure you have the right board revision. -101 is the one I had. Nothing that I had to do to these pads, so I saw videos that people had to solder points on these. I guess I took care of that through using this particular board IPS screen. Jeez, I can't even think right now. So it's been a long day. I think I spent a whole good 5-6 hours, and that's because I was just taking my time and being very careful, because there's a lot of small points here. But I'm gonna fire this up, put it all back together, and then give it a test. Let's see what happens. There we go. Oh my goodness, this looks beautiful. Those IPS screens, man, make a real big difference. Look at that richness. I still gotta peel off that cover, but so beautiful. So I'm using the new power sound amplifier, as well as power batteries. They're rechargeable. There's Sonic red and blue. So much better. So much better.
Super happy how this turned out. This is the final result of it being put back together. And here's a photo of my oldest and my youngest playing with it. showing him the classic Sonic. Thank you guys for watching. May you guys have a great day. As always, like, subscribe, and hit the bell.